Welcome back, Starladder fans. We're here with Starladder America, and we've got only 2 series left in the entire Starladder America for Season 10, at least until the LAN Finals. We've got SNA versus Navi US, and this is do or die. A best of 3, loser goes home empty-handed, winner facing off against EG in the best of 5 finals.
This is going to be hard to watch because I love both of these teams. I love my American Dota, that's for sure, and I've followed these teams for a long time. And, you know, it's going to be hard not to be too biased for one or the other, but I'm looking forward to an exciting matchup. And like you said, this is a crucial game for both teams. This is the loser bracket finals. The winner's going to move on to face EG in the grand finals, and then that winner makes the trip to Russia.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ukraine. Kiev. Close. No, close, but no cigar.
They go to Starladder.
There you go. So, all right, we'll hop into game number 1 here. Again, it is a best of 3, so a little bit of wiggle room, but we've got stand-ins aplenty. On the dire side, we've got Sneaky Nyx Assassins who are using Whitebeard and Derp today in the stead of Fluff and Stuff and Way 2. And for Navi US, they've got Gix and MJW. Here in the place of 1437 and Brax.
I only groan because it sucks to see so many stand-ins for such an important series.
Yes.
I mean, it is a best of 3. You know, maybe we'll get some people to come in. You know, people have had rumors and murmurs that there's a bit of a tiffs happening inside these teams, and you know, these could be better for them, but hopefully it's a solid matchup because this game is very important to them. So hopefully it ends up working out for the better. I've seen, you know, like Gix stand in a couple times here and there. MJW has been known to be a notorious Timbersaw player apparently, so he might be the off-lane setup there. Of course, Derp as well has stood in for plenty of teams. So these guys have been through the ringer as far as, you know, high pressure games, but I had heard from behind the scenes that some of these stand-ins are actually quite nervous about this game.
I would imagine so. We've seen MJW playing with Navi US actually fairly consistently. They were in the opening series they played in this tournament. Gix, I've seen him around. He's an old school player that's known these guys for a while, but he is sort of not the first stand-in they go to, I guess, is a fair way to say it. So, but of all the games to be nervous for, I think rightfully so in this scenario. Picks so far looking pretty straightforward, though. Kato Guy, Razor, Skywrath for Navi US, Death Prophet, Void for SNA.
Nothing says 6.81 like this draft right now. I mean, it's just like nothing out of the ordinary for this. You could have just closed your eyes and picked out 6 heroes or some, and you probably would have gotten at least 4 or 5 of them right. But yeah, I mean,
the initial bans from SNA are a little interesting. Viper and Centaur, 2 heroes that are very prominent in this patch, but that you wouldn't always see first banned. The Centaur in particular, he's a little more likely to kind of make it into that second banning phase more so. But
yeah, you could attest that to maybe Sneaky Nyx Assassins already have some sort of formulated game plan, and you know, it could be that Viper or even Centaur could be the Achilles heel to that plan. So we'll see how it decides to unfold for them. They already have 2 powerhouse pickups in that Death Prophet and in that Void, and now the resplendent Mirana, a lady I love to tip my fedora at. That's for sure.
I know you're quite the fan of the Priestess of the Moon.
I love playing her as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we haven't seen her really too much in the offlane kind of a setup. We haven't even seen her as a core too often. It's been mostly about the roaming, the supporting, the being the Robin Hood, the shooting the arrows, the trying to catch someone and really punish them about it. And I would imagine that could be the same thing here. And it could even be, I believe Derp might be the Mirana for this one. Whitebeard, from what I've come to recognize, is pretty much, I don't want to say a one-trick pony, but he definitely has a small pool of supports he likes to play. Hence the reason the Disruptor was even banned from Navi US. He played the hell out of that hero during the TI4 qualifiers.
Yes, that is who I think of when I see Whitebeard. But the other day he played a really sick Witch Doctor, and I have a feeling that could be the 4th pick coming here for SNA because he synergizes so well with the Void.
It's ridiculous.
That was in the opening day, that opening series. They ended up losing, but he had that Shadow Amulet. Did some pretty clutch. He ended up getting an ultra kill with his little Shadow Amulet, juking left and right, and
show me Witch Doctor.
Good stuff. Show me a Witch Doctor. Show me a Witch Doctor.
I mean, it works so nice with the push. I mean, we still got one more pick.
We got one more.
But I like the Ember Spirit grab too. I believe this is Ush's hero, and he has definitely showed a lot of promise with it. Brings forward great lockdown, great wave clearing, and we've seen in multiple games, even as recent as the big nail-biting matchup. I believe it was in the NVIDIA 24 tournament where Sing Sing played him, and you could just see the potential, the high ceiling for this hero. He can be a nuisance way way late into the game if you give him those right damage items. So, great hero. It's going to be on now Na'Vi US to look to punish this Ember Spirit early in the game. They already have formidable roaming support in your Skywrath Mage. Jakiro doesn't really offer a whole lot as far as roaming early. He's more, let's get the liquid fires, let's get the towers down, and we'll work from there.
Yeah, he can be pretty good in those early skirmishes with a value point and dual breath. Also, one of those kind of 1-point wonder abilities for a position 4 Jakiro. 30% slow at level 1. It's nice. Pretty good for setting up those kills. Yeah, certainly so. Now, the Vengeful Spirit Band from SNA, they're assuming this will be a core Jakiro, one that'll take a little bit of extra farm priority, maybe in a sort of a position 2 type role, maybe get up a fast mech. And it's a little hard to say. Na'Vi US have a few options here. They could just go back for a more kind of traditional carry, something like your Luna or something that hits kind of hard like that. And they'll have to decide pretty quickly here. Only a few seconds left. And
this is the second game straight where at the last second a team pulls out Storm Spirit.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have predicted that one. But this one, there's a little bit more lockdown, but still not much. It should be a pretty good game for the Storm Spirit to shine. Arrow, not quite enough. You've got your Void ulti, you've got your Silence from DP, but I think that's probably your Korok hero, right?
To be honest, I'm not too sure. To be frank, I mean, unless they do go with
10 seconds
a support Tide and make that Jakiro still core and he runs that, but even I'm a little puzzled by it. But I mean, that's more than likely. And well, we're not going to see the Witch Doctor. It's going to be Shadow Shaman. But you know what? That's a fantastic pick on your dire side with that additional pushing prowess. You're near the Roche Pit. You take advantage of those wards. Oh, yeah. You're a son of a gun. You're going to get it done.
Oh yeah. No complaints about Rasta on the dire side whatsoever, and still some pretty decent synergy. IX Mike will take the Void to the off lane, and dire side off lane Void is not so easy. Radiant is much easier. EG, where we saw Universe kind of popularizing the off lane Void, he would do it almost exclusively on Radiant.
Now, he may have popularized it, but IX Mike had been playing an off lane Faceless Void in NEL for a long period of time. Let me tell you what.
Universe
maybe not as good.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't start it. Popularizing and starting, totally different, but the dire side is notoriously more difficult, though.
This is a nice throwback, though, to see
work cut out for him.
IX Mike play a Faceless Void in the off lane, and you know what? As much as I hate on him right there, he's been showing a lot of promise. I've been seeing some fantastic Tide Hunter games out of him recently, and they've been really pulling it together. Of course, Nyx Assassins kind of almost being a new reincarnation of the old Liquid team and making it work. Today, they're not going to have the benefit of Liquid or of Fluff on their team,
or Way 2,
but we could expect a lot of promise out of them, hopefully, thus far, as this is going to be a very crucial match once again, a best of 3 here. Let's go ahead and start things off.
Yeah, let's do it. On the dire side, it will be Whitebeard who will take point on the support Mirana here. Derp on the position 5 Shadow Shaman. TC will take the DP, headed towards the mid lane. That puts Ush in the safe lane on good old Ember Spirit. And our buddy IX Mike here, we were just talking about him. He'll be rocking the Pharaoh Void head and headed to the offlane. What's that thing at the Ancient Crown? Ah, yes. Classic. Classic.
Yes. It's a shame he doesn't have a mustache, but, I guess that works as well. On your Na'Vi US side, on the Radiant team right here, already shuffling down to that bottom lane, you got Snake King going to be playing your Razor. Just nearby, we got Fog playing your support Skywrath Mage. Just behind, we got Jakiro, played by your stand-in MJW. On the bottom lane, it is going to be Korok playing your safe lane Storm Spirit. Up in the off lane, it's going to be Gix playing your Tide Hunter. And did I get
Pirate? Yeah, that's all of them. We got a Pirate Tide. I like it. No Squiddles, but big fan of
wasn't it just Pirate Day a couple days back or whatever?
Yeah, like a week ago. Talked like a Pirate Day. Jars and Yees and
walking the plank.
Yeah.
That was a terrible pirate. I'm sorry. That was terrible.
You have to practice that. You've got some pretty good voices. I guess your pirate is your least practiced.
I'll work on it.
Oh, boy. Whitebeard will find himself a double damage rune to get things started at the top position, and he'll just pick it up and head towards the mid. Already a ward on the high ground outside the Radiant Ancient, so that's usually a good sign that SNA will want to pick on this mid lane and
Snake King,
make Snake King's life a little more difficult.
Double damage rune on top of that. This could easily guarantee a first blood if he lands it. No pressure, Whitebeard, as he looks to throw it out here. Don't mean to just kind of be locked on this mid lane, but this is something that's yet to come. He's swaying it out right now. There's no ward. They don't know it's here. They don't know it's happening. But Snake King, like you do when you're going against Mirana, you got to make sure you duck and dive, as she does avoid the arrow. You got to make sure you keep hitting and moving. Juking and jiving, I guess they say.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge an arrow. And Snake King is well practiced. and will survive the initial onslaught. So, as I pointed out, Dire side offlane void a little bit difficult, and Mike still hasn't found any experience. He will push up towards the creep wave here. Yet to skill anything, but Jakiro, ready for a wraparound, does have a point in liquid fire. You see Korok pressuring him as soon as he comes up near the creep wave, just letting him know, Mike, these are not your creeps. These are my creeps, good sir.
No, absolutely not. Whitebeard, by the way, had tried to shoot out a second arrow in that mid lane, was not successful, and will finally waddle himself away from that mid lane, go back towards the top, because Gix is getting pretty aggressive here up top, and already derp stepping in saying, get the hell back. Stop getting so many easy creeps here, and maybe they'll get to have a little extra pressure as Whitebeard, I thought, was committing to the top, but nope, he pops the clarity, and maybe we'll consider making another trip elsewhere.
Yeah, headed maybe towards the top lane, but finding the level 2 on Tide is that first milestone. Getting the value point in Kraken Shell and the Anchor Smash, that is what makes him super tanky. And now we'll go for that second point Anchor Smash. TC's in some trouble. Fog starts things off with that concussive. Snake King will find the first blood, gives him the whips.
It's not a whole lot of mana to work with right there, and part of the reason why Skywrath Mage is just so good early in the game. That Arcane Bolt, man, it costs nothing to use, and it does a whole lot of damage. And with the concussive shot slow to follow it up, it makes for easy work. Top lane, though, they might get another here. It looks like poor Gix going to be caught out with a shackle, lands an easy arrow to follow up. Wow. The synergy is real, folks, as Tidehunter does fall. Even things up 1 for 1.
Yeah, that seemed pretty unlucky. I think he got a Kraken proc right before the arrow hit, so that didn't get to cleanse the arrow stun, and that secured the kill. Makes it 1-1, as you mentioned, but Navi US the obvious advantage, not only getting the first blood, but kill on the Death Prophet. Always the most valuable hero to bring down in the early stages.
And Snake King will be able to take advantage of
arrow
this.
Hits fogged, but it's just Whitebeard, and he'll get one arrow, pumps him full of arrows, and just
a little bit of a flirt right there, but he quickly jumps back with a concussive shot, gets rid of the clarity potion, and they're actually pursuing this if they can follow it up with anything else. Arcane Bolt and Snake King's right there to greet him. Hey, how's it going right there? He has no leap. Oh, god damn it. Can't get away from this, and gets blasted down, and Fog picks up the kill and pushes Navi US ahead 2-1.
Yeah, one of those arrows that seemed like pretty good work on paper, and then it just ended up in him being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's part of the issue with the roaming Mirana. When you're not successful in those, at least that first early gank, you stay level 1 a bit longer, and if he had a leap there, I think that would have been an easy getaway.
Yeah, you roam around so much. We even saw it in our last game we got to cast together with Team Secret and Puppy on Mirana. Even though they were successful, he just didn't find really any levels to work with. He was like level 5 by nearly like 15 minutes in, and you know, you just don't get focused too much in trying to take down creeps and trying to get XP for yourself. And you're doing stuff like this. You're parking yourself near the mid lane, trying to get the more valuable target, which is picking off someone in that mid lane and allowing your core Death Prophet or, you know, whoever may be there to really accelerate their own farm and XP.
Yep. Bottom lane still going very well for Navi US. Korok, the last hit leader, 24-9, and it is Strug City for Mike. He has found 2 last hits. He's only part way through level 2. We'll get some experience as they shove into the tower, but Korok will certainly be off to a good start this game. Mid lane once more. TC taking some damage. The link gets broken, but Snake King able to steal a good chunk of damage from him, and Fog just all over the place on this Skywrath. He's almost level 4 already. Finds a double damage rune, and he'll walk up to the high ground.
He also finds 2 people on the upside of those stairs right now trying to get away, and Snake King's there to step in and help out. And Whitebeard, he's like, I got the DD, but you're dead.
Oh, no!
The worth. I don't think it was worth.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Snake King will get another kill up on the board, and he'll be 2-0-1. Now that secures his bracer, and this is a great start for the Razor, getting slightly out-farmed by 2C's Death Prophet, but these kills are more than making up for it.
And these are 2 teams. These players know each other well. They had also played with some of them had played with each other on previous teams, so they're happy to go toe-to-toe. Top lane, though, Gix getting caught out with the shackle and will fall again in this top-off lane. And, well, that allows another sweet pickoff and more opportunity for Ush to farm up on that Ember Spirit. Nice stuff.
Yep, but it's the same thing we talked about. Getting a kill on the off-laner is good, but you sort of expect the Tide to struggle a little bit. Maybe not this much, but Navi have just found some more valuable kills. I guess on the Mirana, you can make the case that it's just a support Mirana, but keeping Whitebeard level 1 for this long is kind of a big deal. That lack of leap has cost him at least 2 deaths, and possibly even more coming up here unless he finds some experience in the near future. Arrow in the mid lane. He's lining it up. He's thinking about it. Just looking for the opening. But Snake King, he already has power treads. Arrow will be off the mark, and the Razor will survive.
And you talk about the struggle of the offlaners. Yeah, Tidehunters went down a couple of times. Mike's not finding his farm, but at least he's not dying. But That's going to get a lot trickier. I mean, already Fog's still roaming about, but he's got a level now in Ancient Seal, and as he gets that higher, you know, Void's going to have a much tougher time just easily being able to get away from anything. So we'll see if that's something to come. Mid lane, though, concussive shot. They want the beard. And they're moving up on top of the high ground here. Arcane Bolt, nice dodge of the arrow, and they will not be able to commit for another kill.
And Whitebeard may finally find his level 2 as this wave of creeps shove into the tower. A couple of them left to go down. One more ought to do the trick.
Give me that leap, baby.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is the money point right there. At least now he has something to disjoint with, some escape mechanism. But it is a struggle for this support. Now in the bottom lane, Void's tower taking some decent damage from MJW. 2 points in the liquid fire, but Fog comes in. Silence onto Mike. Korok will hop forward with his newly found level 6, and that's a dead faceless Void.
Yeah, there is a lot of lockdown on this team. You're probably going to be looking at Korok picking up an Orchid in the future. You already have the silence from the Skywrath Mage, so this is going to be a tough game for even a faceless Void. And, you know, it's hard to say that, but mid lane, another silence, Whitebeard. Well, he falls, and a lady I love to fluff my neckbeard for is, you know, not doing so well in the hands of Whitebeard, unfortunately, for now. But 5-2, strong lead for Navi US thus far.
Yeah, both Tier 1 towers in the relative off lanes taking a lot of damage here. Ush will take it down to just about deny range. They'll be here to secure the deny if they're so inclined. They have to be careful of this siege creep. That'll chuck it in, and the deny will be secured by Gix. Now they'll press forward. Hex out onto the Tide Hunter. Ush doing a lot of damage to the Jakiro, but the Ice Path connects. Jakiro's still alive. Ush forced to jump back. Derp will secure the kill, but not too shabby for Navi US. They almost get a turnaround, and they secure the first tower deny.
Yeah, and I feel like that top lane is, for now, it looks like the Sneaky Nyx Assassin's lone hope as this early game progresses. Ush is still finding his farm, but that's a bit heartbreaking to see, of course, your tower being denied, and he wanted to make him pay for it, and unfortunately could not get the redemption, and, well, is forced to pull back. But now, having his level 7, he can be a little more elusive. He can try to go for some pickoffs now, take advantage of those searing chains, and try to get something done here, but with yet to get a point in Sleight of Fist, he's probably going to wait out a bit more, get some farm for himself, as top lane's not really going to be the place to be for him, I would imagine, but you know, we'll see where he decides to go from here.
Yeah, they'll have to start getting this Ember Spirit involved in the fights pretty soon. He's the one holding the bulk of the farm for the Dire side, him and the Death Prophet, the obvious leaders. And, ooh, down bottom, this Tier 1 tower will fall. Mike might be looking for a deny, but no Chronosphere, so just going to hang out in the tree line and continue leeching experience. Korok will secure the last hit on that. So he is looking pretty darn farmed already. Courier bringing over, it looks like a fast Bloodstone will be his item of choice here, as he has the point booster and the vitality booster on the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get an early Bloodstone, you feel like I'm going to get a lot of pickoffs, it's definitely something to consider. The same way a lot of people don't really favor like a Vanguard, but if you get it early enough, it can be worth its while. So Korok, he's going to be building up the extra survivability, the extra sustain, and hopefully build up a severe amount of charges for himself, and then maybe we'll consider something like an Orchid thereafter. But he's definitely having the time of his life, farming it up here in this bottom lane, and just continues to stand put. And, you know, with Fog nearby, he's not really scared of anything.
Yeah, Snake King will go into an early drum of endurance following his power treads. I'm a little surprised to see him not rush the mech given this great start that
Void
they're off to.
pulls out the Chrono in the bottom lane. Korok gets caught with a nicely timed arrow. Whitebeard with the most significant thing he's done thus far, trying to make it work, but Korok lives.
They don't have the damage. Both Mike and Whitebeard just underfarmed. Korok will hop into the tree line. Mike will get pursued by Fogged, and Korok wants it, but he won't be able to find the kill over the tree line there. But whew, just showing us the power of the farmed Storm Spirit. It couldn't have had that Soul Booster a moment too soon. Did have to break the Arcane Boots to get it, but well worth it. Snake King in the mid. He'll get jumped on. Wards come out from Derp, and they may find a kill. Even the Exorcism deployed. Ice Path flies through. Won't be enough to keep Snake King alive. And TC will try to chip away at this Tier 1 tower mid to make good use of this Exorcism, and a much-needed kill on that Razor.
Yeah, they really wanted him dead. There wasn't much of a bounty to even grab from, but they definitely want to be able to move forward like this and do some damage on this tower, as it looks like there's not going to be much defensive just yet. You have your MJW Jakiro nearby, but no one looking to commit thus far. They're not going to get a whole lot of damage on it. You know, just remember, Exorcism level 1, not the craziest thing ever to be going against, but it could still do a little bit of work here, but it does expire right there. There's your TP rotation coming in. It does look like it will be Snake King returning back to that mid lane, and for now, Sneaky Nyx Assassin's just, I guess, happy to get another kill under their belt.
Yeah, a little unfortunate the first set of Rost Awards couldn't yield a tower, but getting a kill out of it, especially on the mid, I think well worth it from Derp, who is level 8. Wow, he's found a lot of experience on that Shadow Shaman. While Murano was just roaming around, he was stacking and pulling and working that jungle to much avail, and that's great news for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Fogged has now picked up an urn, And still no mech on the way. Maybe that'll be Snake King's next item here. But I feel like it would be a worthy investment for Navi US, especially if they need to group up and kind of deal with the pending death ball of this Death Prophet coming up in the upcoming moments.
I would be more worried about the death ball that Korok is going to bring forward here. I mean, he's got a lot of farm. He's actually not that far from Bloodstone, but mid lane, Snake King eats an arrow relatively close to the tower. They want it. There's your Ravage, catches out very nicely on 2, but Ush makes his appearance, jumps in, gets a nice shackle, and it looks like they're going to burst down 2. Nice takedown. Mike jumps forward. Chrono, they want 3. The TP is going to be canceled as he doesn't want to come into the Chronosphere, but just like that, 1, 2, 3 takedowns. Sneaky Nyx Assassins now pull ahead 7-5, going for a tower. Oh, Fog jumps in with a nice Mystic Flare, ripping apart the Shadow Shaman support, but they still get that tower. A worthy trade for the Nyx Assassins.
Yeah, Korok just farming away in the top lane, still trying to get his Bloodstone, just one piece away, either a Void Stone or a Ring of Health. But now that that Tier 1 tower's down, SNA will open up a lot of possibilities in the Roche Pit. Not quite yet, but that is that big access point the Radiant needs to be able to contest easily. So a huge tower kill this early on in the game, and a lot of extra momentum. So like you were mentioning, glancing at the gold graph, officially zeroed out for the first time in this game, and the experience edge going the way of the sneaky Nyx Assassins.
But we do have to fear the mid-game potential of the Navi US squad here.
Oh, Snake King, the Arrow Magnet.
Again.
Glyph comes through, and yeah, this is how the last fight started.
Vu.
Oh my gosh, how does Ush get off these searing chains? Creeps around, and he connects on 2 heroes. The follow-up won't be there to yield a kill, but it does delay the push, and Tower's still just barely out of deny range. Jakiro will get up. That Liquid Fire should tick it down into deny range here. Arrow flies through, just barely misses the Jakiro. Snake King doing a lot of damage with the Plasma Field. Tower denied by Whitebeard. Now Derp will get sandwiched. He'll try to TP home, and he'll be successful. Takes a gush from Gix, but it's just not enough. And once again, Sneaky Nyx Assassins get a good exchange there.
Yeah, and they're looking to pull back. It was a very rough start for them, but they're showing that they can hold strong and still get what they need done here. And
uh-oh, Milady. She could be in some trouble, but Fogged, he whiffs it.
Nope, doesn't get proper zonage. No. Quickly runs away here, not with much mana to work with here. And if Ush gets a hold of him, it's going to be troublesome. They do throw out the arrow thinking he might just do the direct path over, but that's not going to be the case. Oh, nope, now he sees him. Jump forward, gets it done with the Searing Chains. Fogged in big trouble right here. Tries to slow him with a concussive shot and will be valuable, but nope. Hey, out of the corner comes Mike. Jumps right in and, well, fluffs his mustache and takes down the Skywrath Mage.
First hit bash for the win there. Mike feeling pretty good, flexing on that one. Ends the spree, and that's 400 gold in his pocket. Now with Skywrath dead, they'll move into the Roche Pit. And this is just a beautiful timing here. They've got the Rost Awards to make it nice and easy. No medallion, but frankly, they don't even need it.
This is exactly why a Shadow Shaman is such a valuable pick, especially on your Dire side. It makes for an easy segue to go right on top of a great pick-off or a great team fight to move right into the pit and duke it out with the big one here. And, well, it's going to go down with no contention. And they quickly drop it to Aegis, and then, of course, it's going to go into the hands of Ush.
Yeah, and with that, Sneaky Nyx Assassins will smoke out of the Roche Pit, a little trick that they like to do quite often. They'll ping out the jungle area where Snake King just happens to be farming, and oh, this Lightning Revenant, he is in some trouble. Ush is there with the Searing Chains, follow-up Hex Arrow, and that will seal Snake King's fate.
His Majesty goes down again, and that's another pick off a man who started 2-0, has quickly become 2-3, so the Razor, who had a promising start, getting some nice pickoffs in the early game, taking down the Mirana a couple of times, is now running into his own bit of trouble here, and this allows an opportunity for pretty much the Sneaky Nyx Assassins to go from one objective to the other and get something else done. Now, looking at this bottom lane here, they look to move in. Exorcism is up and available, but he's kind of nursing it for now. Pops the DD instead and should be able to take this tower down without using the ultimate, though. There is Fog nearby. They're smoked up. They're looking to go in. They see Mike pull out the Ancient Seal. Big damage with that Mystic Flare. Ice Path not going to catch, but the Ravage will, and Gix helps out getting a takedown right there. Ush decides he wants to fight. Moonlight Shadow is going to be popped out now from Whitebeard. They take down the Tidehunter. Now MJW, heavy damage coming out, and it's TC with a double kill. That Exorcism going to town right now. Now Snake King jumps in. Ush remnant over to the right side to get away from this one, but Korok now steps into the fray, going right for the Death Prophet, and does take him down, but not before TC gets a nice triple kill. Now Korok trying to pick up the scraps right here, gets one. Jumping forward, not much mana to work with, but two very wounded SNA members able to retreat away from this one. It's really hard to say who ends up coming out on top, considering the Sneaky Nyx Assassins do manage to take down the tower and a triple kill for TC.
Yeah, in terms of net worth, that did go the way of the Sneaky Nyx Assassins, as you mentioned, the tower kind of tipping things in their favor. But experience did go the way of Navi US, so I think you could essentially call it kind of a break-even. The big breadwinner, though, is Korok.
Oh, yeah.
He's gotten 2 tower last hits of his own. He has 10 charges on his Bloodstone, and he's working on an Orchid next.
And he got that bounty on TC at the end right there for that killing spree, so he gets a little bit extra gold from that one. And yeah, he's on the fast track to getting a decently timed Orchid right here, and it's going to be something that SNA's going to have to look out for.
Yeah, I think that's the scariest thing, is Korok is a snowball player and on a hero like Storm Spirit that can snowball and also scale very well with items towards the mid-game, then into the late game. This is some pretty good momentum that Nyx Assassins need to be wary of, especially as he starts to stack up stones on or charges on that Bloodstone. Still no Met coming out for Navi US. Snake King will just move right into an Aghanim Scepter. Now has that point booster, so just trying to go for some value HP right now. And aside from that, we don't see too much else in the way of item progression. Meanwhile, on the Dire side, Ush is pretty damn close to his first Battle Fury. Now level 11 and just about 800 gold away. Just needs that broadsword, and he'll be there cleaving around, and that's not only when the Ember Spirit really hits his stride in terms of team fight, but also helps his farming potential quite a bit.
I mean, I am a bit intrigued as to why they are not going to be opting for a mechanism pickup on the side of Navi US. I mean, typically going against a Death Prophet, you would love to have all the survivability you can take.
Right. There's no way you're not going to be team fighting in the early stages.
Absolutely, and
it just adds so much value.
It's it's been intriguing, an interesting choice, I guess you could say, and we'll see if it pays off, Cotton.
Yeah, absolutely. Other item progression, TC did finish up his Yule Scepter, so he is in full race car mode at that max movement speed when he pops the phase boots, and this is where DP really starts to hit her mark. Also level 12, which means Exorcism, that much more potent. Was the Aegis burned in that last team fight? No, it was not. Ush stayed standing and still has that second life, and there is a decent duration left on it where the Sneaky Nyx Assassins are still in fighting form, even though it looks like Navi US will be the ones that choose to be the aggressors. Snake King with an invisibility rune will scout things out by the secret shop, while the rest of his team rendezvous in the lane.
If they can burst down the TC Death Prophet before she can even get her ultimate off or anything, that would be a very nice pick off for them, but you do have Void nearby scouting it out. He's there nearby. I don't think he saw the Moonlight Shadow, but they're jumping forward. They get the Chrono off on 2. Korok caught out with it, but coming in from behind is that Snake King, and they're going to be able to burst down the Void. 1-for-1 trade right now as they do get the Korok down. Now Derp, huge damage, blasts him down. 3-for-1 trade. TC thrown up into the air. They're looking to complete bursting him down. Fog jumps forward, Arcane Bolt, but man, the casualties just continue to build up right now. TC jumps back with a nice Crypt Sworn, and Derp is the one to pick up a nice triple kill for himself. Sneaky Nyx Assassins, back-to-back fights coming out on top for them.
Yeah, that was a close call, a 3-for-4. The big problem for SNA is that Ush wasn't there. He came in at the end to play clean house, but before that, they really need his damage in these team fights. And a great way to start it off, the arrow that flew through in the Chrono actually connected on Korok. So even through the Chrono afterwards, he was still stunned up and nowhere for him to go. So basically a perfect initiation for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. And now, Puddin' Pop, he'll go right in onto Ush. Does he have the damage to actually solo him down, though? Aegis of the Immortal is still in the inventory.
He wants it. He got an arrow in the face as he leapt forward. Oh, Whitebeard. Oh, that's unfortunate. Just to run on forward just to get that right in the mouth is not something you want. And Ush sneaks away.
So that's even more painful. Of all the heroes to fall, Korok has gone from 10 charges to 4 in a matter of 60 seconds on this Storm Spirit, and that really hurts. That is the snowball melting right there, Coddle Guy.
That's the gamble you sometimes have to take when you go with that early Bloodstone. I mean, by this point, he could have had the Orchid, and he could have definitely been able to isolate and take down Ush, but then you're risking not having that extra survivability. Oh, arrow mid lane. Snake King just going back for his favorite lunch item, and that's the arrow to the mouth. Ush moving forward. Low life, though, but he has the Aegis to burn, and there it goes. Ready to go for a second round. I know it was probably just about to expire. Ice Path timing not going to quite be there, and Ush will be able to remnant away from this one. No fight to break out yet. Is it going to go for a counter initiate here? Nope, they're not opting for it. Mike has 8 more seconds for the Chronosphere. Korok jumps forward and gets his redemption, taking down Ush and Mike. Back-to-back kills for the side of Navi US. Snake King now looking to get a little more sustain, and they might just build on this with Eye of the Storm proc. Maybe they'll move on forward and do some damage on this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Snake King. Still no Ag Scepter complete, but they will throw out the right clicks, and those are some kills they really needed to regain some momentum here. SNA's now ahead by a lot, and arrow hits on Korok. Silence from Death Prophet. TC uses the ultimate, though, going on to Korok. Still silence. That'll secure the kill. The Rasta wards come down to snipe the last hit, but the Storm goes down all the same. Now Yule's out on the Razor. Ice Path flies through to try and slow him down. It will cause TC to take kind of an odd path around. Arrow! Oh, Snake King, he jukes it, and he will survive. Meanwhile, around the backside, Fogged almost gets caught as they sort of sound the retreat, but only a kill on Korok, still a good one, and that will take him sitting still on 4 charges there on the Bloodstone.
You know, and after we were really being hard on Whitebeard in the early game, not even getting a level to his name, getting picked off multiple times, it looks like that was enough to light a fire under his ass to really pull together some nice arrows. I mean, that last one didn't connect, but that must have been 3 or 4 straight crucial arrows that allowed the sneaky Nyx Assassins to get some great pickoffs and overall win those team fights. So props to him for being able to shake it off and come right back into the fight.
Yeah, for sure. Now up top, Korok jumps forward onto TC, but there's support inbound. Dash will be there, does have some searing chains, and Korok will be able to ball Lightning back to safety, and he'll be just fine. So much of the Storm Spirit momentum has been quelled. That Orchid timing we were talking about was looking damn good, and now he's still just on this Oblivion staff. Hasn't really been able to make any progress towards the next one, and that'll sort of be the compounding effect as the game continues on. Snake King will find his Aghanim Scepter, always a big item pickup on him, but SNA is right there with big item pickups of their own. Death Prophet, who's now level 16, meaning that 3rd point in the ultimate, has a Black King Bard, 10 seconds of fresh magic immunity.
I mean, the best thing you can do against a Death Prophet, as I repeated myself again, is Heavy Burst. Skywrath, one of the best to do it, but now with the BKB, Skywrath, Jakiro, the Ravage, these things are not going to be as valuable as they once were, and I think a very nice pickup there for TC on the Death Prophet.
As you can see, Snake King on the mini-map here drawing a very articulate picture. The Dire are somewhere in this side of the map.
That's a good wager. I would wager they're probably on that side of the river as well.
I think so. And Korok, he's the only one in the danger zone, and he'll just be hanging out in the tree line here looking for someone that's just hiding in the trees using that vision of the Lightning Remnant. And Ush is on his way over. And he might walk right into Korok. He's coming to the side shop. Korok doing the math right now, pulling out his calculator. And we'll get a fire remnant down. There's your Vortex. Korok will do what he can, but he might still have kill potential here. Another remnant comes out, but
look at this
that'll
spirit
be the end of Derp coming through, but now Korok. He bites off more than he can chew. Chrono, Rasta wards come down. Mystic Flare onto Derp, though. It could at least be a 1-for-1. Storm Spirit falls. Derp takes the negative earn charge in. It may still be enough to take him down despite the TP home. No, just barely survives as the well keeps him alive. Now Fogged, caught by the slow from the Time Walk. He'll go down, and it'll be a 2-for-0 the other way.
The greed is real. Korok is just like, you want to get away, I'll chase you down if I can, brother. Unfortunately, just goes a little too far. It was a really entertaining spirit fight between Ember and Storm, but unfortunately just went a little too far, and there's just Mike right there to go, hi, how's it going? Pops in with the Chrono Spear, the wards are dropped, and even Fog getting a little taste of that greed, just tries to get that one last earn charge off, and ends up being his downfall. So, heartbreaking stuff for Navi US right now. 14-21, your new score, and as far as the graph is concerned, it's beginning to plummet towards the sneaky Nyx Assassins, about 6K.
Yeah, now MJW will move into a mech, but I feel like this window where mech is super effective is already kind of passed, and he still isn't really that close to it. He's a recipe and a chainmail away, which is not so close for 23 minutes, especially on the Jakiro, who doesn't have much space to farm. Mech never really a bad item, but at this stage, it's not going to have that same impact that it would have if someone like the Razor could have picked it up, like a mech instead of drums, for example. Arrow, Snake King, he's hungry, but this time he's not going to get the arrow lunch. Instead, he'll get caught inside of the Yules. The searing chains just barely connect, but follow-up won't be there, and Snake King will survive.
Yeah, nice reasonable damage, puts him all the way back. Still does not have a mech, neither does really anyone on his team, so he has to heal up a bit and step back. I do like that the arrow went a bit behind, so if he tried to juke it forward, it left range for them to get the Yules off and set something up, but Jakiro is right there to zone back with that ice path, so they kind of just trade a tit for a tat right there and step back. Korok top, still manly and on his own, trying to get something done in the opposing jungle. Might have to be careful. Nearby smoke. They catch him out. Jump in sheep. The blink dagger from Derp going to town. So much lockdown. And Korok will end up falling. And rough stuff for Korok. A promising start for him, but still continues to get picked off one after the other, and now sporting a 4-for-5 record and 1 single charge on his Bloodstone.
Yeah, and this is the problem with going Bloodstone first and why so many Storms go for the Orchid, because even if you get aggressive, roll the dice, and die, you can come right back and still have all that solo kill potential. The Bloodstone, now just not quite that same story. See a nice little star there on the Roche pit. There you go.
It's the objective they want. Now that they have those ults ready to go, they're only going to opt to use the wards. This will give them the Aegis, and they'll just kind of save the Exorcism, which is now at a level 18 Death Prophet. That's a big hitting exorcism that they can use in the next fight to look to push on forward here. And now Navi US getting caught out. Fog moves on forward into bad territory. Jump forward from Mike. Moonlight Shadows, they look to move on forward. Ravage just a save from Gix, but Gix now caught under the gun, the Hex, the Shackle, and, well, Tidehunter sinks. Pirate hat and all into the grave.
Send him to the locker.
Yeah.
Well.
The Davy Jones locker. Very nice stuff. I like that. He goes down 30 seconds still with Exorcism available. Maybe they go for a death ball down this mid lane and at least try to take the tier 2. Snake King with his Eye of the Storm pop. Maybe was looking to engage with it, but now will not be able to make use of it as it will be gone. This is just one after the other. Just gets a bit rough for Navi US. There's that Exorcism. Crypt Swarm to quickly burst down the creeps, and now all attention on this tier 2. It should fall rather quickly.
Yeah, Whitebeard on the high ground. He is going for a Diffusal Blade, an item you don't see all that frequently in general, especially on the Mirana, but a fun one at that. And we'll give them some mana burn as well as that Purge ability. Ush getting very aggressive. Searing Chains on too. Follow-up won't be there, but we'll trap him in the base as he moves through the tower, kind of looks towards where Korok is. We'll fire Remnant over the ravine. Ush does have an Aegis of the Immortal, and he'll go down right away. That procs the Aegis. Chrono from Mike flies through off to the backside. He'll try to focus down Fog. He'll find the kill, but it'll cost him his own life. Arrow from Whitebeard flies through. They'll go in onto Snake King. Crypt Swarm from TC with a Stretch Armstrong Shackles, but he's just too damn tanky. They can't bring him around. Ush going blow for blow with Korok, and Korok will not come out the victor. It's a 1 for 3, and the Sneaky Nyx Assassins aren't done yet. Now, still will finish off this tier 2 tower, and Navi US not looking so good here, Coddle Guy.
Derp eating big damage. He does not have the mana, unfortunately, to pull out those wards, which would make this a lot easier, but without that benefit, the tower will stand. Snake King moves forward, trying to bully them back from taking that precious tier 2, and will manage to get them back. Arrow flies, obviously going to be off the mark this time. I might have jinxed Whitebeard after I said that compliment. He really hasn't landed as many arrows as he did before. But regardless, still, Sneaky Nyx Assassins doing a fantastic job from this mid-game. Moving towards that late game, though, Ush is going to look that much better. He's got his BKB now complete, which makes things, like we said, with already the Death Prophet, you know, the Ravage, the Skywrath Mage, the Jakiro, they're just not going to be able to offer nearly as much as they once did before, and this allows Ush, with that survivability, to start building into extra damage.
Yeah, now TC, he basically has his Shivas, hasn't picked it up yet, but has the gold for it, and that'll really help him out. This is that stage in the game when Death Prophet's big weak point is the low armor, and now she'll have a very effective set of effective HPs. Faceless Boy working on his Black King bar, same story, different chapter against the Ravage, and even Derp here, he is one piece away from an Aghanim Scepter. 28 minutes in, that's great news for a Shadow Shaman that already has a Blink Dagger, and that's a pretty scary Ags upgrade.
Yeah, when both of your supports are doing better than for Navi US's offlaner, you just know that things are going pretty swell for you. Unfortunately, for Gix, you know, he's just not getting as much farm as he ideally like. He does manage to, you know, get together his level 11. He's got his level 2 Ravage ready to go. You know, ideally from this point, you would love to build forward into your Refresher, but it looks like with the ring already acquired, he could be that mech holder. This could be a Force Staff. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, it certainly will. Mech's been completed on the Jakiro.
Oh, there it is. We've been waiting a while for it, but finally will be complete, so the extra survivability will be there. But they need that survivability. Korok! Oh, Ravage save into the Chrono. It's not going to be enough as the Void, doing what he does best, pops his own BKB and quickly clears house. Fog now. Next target, move on forward. TC moves forward, and they make quick work of 3, and they've had enough. It's very clear that after a promising start from Navi US, they just couldn't make work in the mid-game, and it just crumbles very quickly, and that was just game number 1 in a best of 3, and, well, hopefully Navi US can shake it off and come right back.
Yeah, that was rough. I've heard rumors that the patch is released. Are we seriously going to have a patch mid-best of 3?
Well, at least will be the first. This will be the first game to do the patch, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, good timing, but whoa, that's just weird. Makes this series anyone's for the taking. So Sneaky Nyx Assassins taking game number 1. It's a best of 3, but this is do or die for Navi US. 1 game away from elimination of Starladder Season 10. I'm Zayori, this guy's Coddle Guy, and we'll be back after this short break.